Welcome back to the Barrels Talk Podcast. I'm back with another episode. Not really an instant reaction. Kind of didn't have the time to do it last night, but talking about game one between Cavs and Knicks after pretty much half a day's worth removed in the moment after the 22-point lead being blown by the Cavs and the New York Knicks getting it done in this game. Like, man, oh man, I don't really even know where to start. The start of this game was shaky by both teams. You could tell the Knicks were dealing with some rust being off for as long as they were. And then the Cavs kind of came in a little bit sluggish, but with them playing with less time in between their games, I feel like they were able to get their rhythm in that second quarter. And the Knicks were just sloppy. All first half, the Knicks were very, very sloppy, which I wasn't really shocked by. I kind of expected that first half to be the first half. Maybe not with so many missed three-pointers, but Cavs coming off of a Game 7, Knicks having some time off, pretty much like a week off at that point. So I was expecting this game to be a little bit sloppy, but I did not think the Cavs would hit this rhythm and this stride on the road and to go up as much as they did in this game. Like, it was honestly impressive to see. Donovan Mitchell had it going all night, and when you're just looking at matchups for Donovan Mitchell, first round you're dealing with Kyle Murray-Boyles, Scotty Barnes, and just the elite connectivity of the Toronto Raptors defense. And then when you're looking at the Detroit Pistons, Asar Thompson, and that connectivity that they have as a team defensively. Now you're going into a series where you can get Jalen Brunson on you. You can operate with Karl-Anthony Towns in the pick and roll. Yes, you still have Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and Landry Shamet to worry about. But I do think this is a way better suited series for somebody like Donovan Mitchell because they just have a lot more avenues for him to attack rather than the Toronto Raptors, who are a bigger team. Not so much with their 5 spot, but they have a ton of big wings. Detroit has size all over the court. And then, like, when you're looking at the Knicks, they have avenues for Donovan Mitchell to get his flow offensively in this game, and that's exactly what he did. I got the stats pulled up right here looking at Donovan Mitchell. Phenomenal game. 29 points, 12 for 23, 4 for 11 from 3. I can't blame this loss on him. As much as it does, like, make me want to be mad at Kenny Atkinson and James Harden, like, I can't blame Donovan Mitchell whatsoever. He had a phenomenal game, but I do think down the stretch of this game, why was the ball not in Donovan Mitchell's hands more? One is that is credit due to Landry Shamet. Landry Shamet was playing his ass off, and the way he was able to fight over screens. It's like a big thing that I have a problem with in today's NBA, and it kind of turned its head in this game when other teams allow star players to easily pick out and matchup hunt, and they just don't fight over the screen, or they just let the switch happen so easily. It frustrates me. Because on the opposite side, I'm looking at a guy in Landry Shamet who's not even known as a elite or great defender, but defense is all about effort. And watch Landry Shamet in the back half of that game, in the second half, fight over screens to guard Donovan Mitchell. Make it so hard so Donovan Mitchell wasn't able to get Jalen Brunson on and wasn't able to get Karl-Anthony Towns on him. That's what swung the game. That's exactly what swung the game. Because when you look at the last, 15 possessions of the game in regulation, Jalen Brunson was going at James Harden, and they were just allowing it to happen. I don't expect James Harden at his age, or really ever, as a defender to be able to stop Jalen Brunson when he has it going like that. So it frustrates me because the Cavs are just allowing the switch to happen, allowing Brunson to matchup hunt. And not only does he matchup hunt, you don't call any timeouts during this run while he's just torching you at home. The crowd's back in the game. The crowd's going crazy. You can't buy a bucket on the offensive end. Now, there was some big shots where I'm like, that's a great shot to stop the bleeding. The Evan Mobley 3, the James Harden bucket late. But it's just like, if you're the Cavs, why are we just allowing Jalen Brunson to have his way as much as you are? This is like a really questionable thing because, yeah, Keon Ellis is somebody who I've been pleading to get more rotational minutes. At this point in the playoffs, it's kind of hard to throw Keon Ellis out there and expect a whole lot. Only played 5 minutes, had 2 points, 2 free throws. But it's just like, it's hard for him to even be in any kind of real rhythm out there. And he's one of the guys where you're like, if we are going to switch anybody on him, it's like Keon Ellis, Max Strus, and Dean Wade are the kind of the options for the Jalen Brunson assignment. But to just allow Jalen Brunson to get James Harden on him down the stretch and then to forcefully not call a timeout while he gets on this run is just crazy to me. I think Kenny Atkinson needs to do a way better job of that in terms of just coaching. using his timeouts to stop the run, especially on the road, and making it so it's not so easy for Jalen Brunson to just get his matchups and matchup hunt in this game as well. Something that really frustrated me down the stretch. But Jalen Brunson, elite level night. I mean, when he gets it going like that and the guard gets to rocking like that, it's a special sight to see. Game goes to OT and the Cleveland Cavaliers only scored 3 points in overtime. Yikes. And I couldn't even tell if this was like Cavs are getting fatigued, they're tired, they just had a 7-game series, they kind of ran out of gas in the second half. But like I can't even really put it like that. It's just like they just went away from everything that was working for them. The New York defense did put a ton of pressure on this team. Mikal Bridges hit a big time 3. That's what you give up all those first round picks for. Is a Mikal Bridges performance like this where he has 18, 7 for 11, 2 for 4 from 3, elite level defense on James Harden. Like that's what you give up all those picks for. But the main thing I want to say is what I am so happy about. Tom Thibodeau is a phenomenal basketball coach. I personally hope that he gets like the Orlando Magic job or like the Chicago Bulls job going forward, because I think Tom Thibodeau has a coach with such a great defensive mind, but he's stuck in his old ways. That's why I think the switch to Mike Brown has been, at least in the playoffs, ever since Karl-Anthony Towns started being more of a hub of the offense, has worked wonders. Because in a game like this, Tom Thibodeau doesn't play Landry Shamet down the stretch. He definitely puts Josh Hart in there and forces Josh Hart to play 40, 45, 48 minutes in this game. He absolutely 100% does. But Landry Shamet had it going. Landry Shamet was confident. The 3 ball was working for him because he was playing elite level defense. And when you put elite level defense, it makes the offensive side of the ball that much easier to do when you're building your confidence up on that side of the ball as well. Tom Thibodeau, it don't matter. Landry Shamet could have hit 2, 3 threes in a row. Tom Thibodeau would not have closed that game with Landry Shamet. I promise you he wouldn't. This rotation from the Knicks can actually go deep. Miles McBride, yeah, he didn't score in this game, but I feel like he's another solid defender, good with the ball in his hands, and we know what Deuce McBride is going to do. Deuce McBride is going to have a game in this series, no question. But I already know Jose Alvarado wouldn't have played, Landry Shamet wouldn't have played, and Jordan Clarkson wouldn't have played. I guarantee you Landry Shamet would have been sitting right next to Tom Thibodeau while Josh Hart went out there, and probably wouldn't have gave you the defensive effort. Not saying Josh Hart doesn't give effort, but the way Landry Shamet was playing defense last night, he was playing to stay on the fucking floor. And I feel like that's something that doesn't happen a whole lot in the NBA. Going back to them letting the matchup hunting happen. With the Cavs, it was just so frustrating to me that, 1, you don't call a timeout. 2, you're just allowing James Harden to get killed. Allowing Jalen Brunson to just have his way with James Harden. Which is so frustrating to me because the Cavs, I've never seen a team, and this reminded me a lot of the Celtics Knicks last year with the 2 20-point leads in Boston that they blew. But Boston doesn't shock me when they do shit like that. They don't shock me because of the way they play. The way Boston plays, they will live and die by that 3 ball. It can get you up 30 in a game quick, or it can blow a lead for you quick. Playing that way. But with the Cavs, they don't play that way. With the Cavs, it's so shocking to me because they blew the lead because Jalen Brunson got hot and they couldn't stop the run, or they were just letting the switch to James Harden happen. 2, Donovan Mitchell did not have the ball in his hands a lot late game. 1, he was trying to match up with Jalen Brunson, but Landry Shamet wasn't having that whatsoever. And the Knicks were just making big time shots. The 3 by Mikal Bridges was just like a dagger went through your heart if you're a Cavs fan, because now this is for sure still a basketball game right here. And it just seemed like the Cavs just took their foot off the gas late and thought the Knicks at home with that crowd was just going to roll over and hope for game 2. No, they forced OT and to score only 3 points in overtime. And the Sam Merrill shot was a great look. That was one of the more in and out shots I've ever seen. Mike Breen had the bang call already halfway out. That's how in and out the shot was. And it's just a complete collapse by Cleveland. Because coming off of a 7-game series, to come into game 1 and win game 1 would have been phenomenal. Because then you take home court. Everything's looking up for you as Cleveland. No matter what would have happened in game 2. But to get a Knicks team that was playing this bad throughout pretty much the first 3.5 quarters of this game and to not be able to close it out is so crazy to me. And I think truly that the Cavs have some reflecting to do. This is like one of those losses where it's like, man, how do you recover, bounce back from a loss like this? But I do think the Cavs are fine. I think it's still going to go the distance because I think the Knicks can still be a very up and down team. I want Karl-Anthony Towns to be a little bit more aggressive. He's aggressive at times, but I feel like he gets into this mode where it's like, he's only trying to play make and not look for his. And I think he needs to find that great balance and looking for his as well, because Karl-Anthony Towns is a 25 plus point per game scorer. Like OG Anunoby, with the time off, didn't look the best, didn't look like he had that burst that he had pre-injury, but still gives you great defensive plays. OG Anunoby, I think he's going to knock more shots down. He was doing a great job, had 10 free throws in this game of getting downhill, slow step, getting Mobley or Allen up in the air, and getting to the free throw line to get his rhythm. But the Knicks free throws are a problem. Got to make I had that has a no while I'm looking at the stats. I mean, you can't go 65% from the free throw line. That's the craziest thing. The Cavs, if you're looking at this, only shot 70% from the free throw line. But when you got the Knicks struggling for 3.5 quarters and you're a road team in the conference finals and you have a 20-point lead and the other team not only is playing bad, but shooting 65% from the free throw line, leaving so many points on the board. They were 31% from three. How do you lose this if you're Cleveland? How do you lose this if you're Cleveland? Both teams were coughing the ball up. 19 turnovers for the Cavs, 17 for the Knicks. But it all came down to them allowing Jalen Brunson to play his way and to get James Harden on him down the stretch and to consistently will his team back into this game. Mikal Bridges came to the party with some big-time shots. Landry Shamet, his defense that I've already explained, and his threes that he hit in this game as well. If you're Cleveland, you got to be incredibly disappointed, because I'm not saying the series is over. A ton of basketball left to be played, but the Knicks played their worst game probably of the entire playoffs, obviously until like the last 6 minutes of the game in overtime. But to blow a 20-point lead on the road with the Knicks playing as bad as they were, insane. Insane to blow this if you're Cleveland. It's insane. A lot of basketball left to be played, but this is a heartbreaking loss for Cleveland, because now I really do see a world where the Knicks found their rhythm late in that game. It's going to carry over to game 2. I see a real world where where the Cavs go back home to Cleveland and they're down 2-0 and they're playing for the playoff lives in game 3, because this is one they fumbled. This is one they fumbled for sure. But be back talking about game 2 of this series Thursday night. Tonight, by the time I'm recording this, is going to also break down Thunder Spurs game 2 as well. But that's all I have for this episode of the Bears Talk podcast. Hope you tune in to future episodes.